We've added empty tissue boxes to our family craft box this week to create these fun bear paw slippers. So these are really simple to make, and you start out with your empty tissue box, and I'll show you how to make them. But first, let's talk a little bit about our family craft box, because everybody's craft box is going to be different. You're going to gather up things that you find you use over and over, and so in my box I have some paper, I have some glue, I have paint, I have a few styrofoam balls, paint brushes, and things like that, so that when the kids are ready to craft, we have a few minutes, we can just grab the box and get started. So the item, though, that we're grabbing from around the house is a recycled tissue box. When these become empty, just stash them next to your craft supplies so that you're ready to go. Now, these have this plastic liner inside. If you are making these for a kid with small feet, then just leave it inside because it helps them fit. If your feet are a little bit bigger, then go ahead and cut this wider with scissors, and you can reinforce it with tape if you need to. Now, the next thing that you're going to do is start painting. And what you'll do is grab some paint out of your craft box and put it in a little palette or a paper plate, and then just start brushing. So it takes a few layers to cover a box like this, especially when it has a pattern. But you know what? I find with something that looks furry, it's okay if a little bit of the pattern shows through. And we're going to create some more texture too. So brush on a good coat on all sides. And base coating is a great job for a kid. So let them just paint away. And you don't have to make bear paws, you could make other types of animal paws. So really get creative with this one. All right, so paint it on all sides except for the bottom, and then let it dry. Now, once you've done a few coats, it's going to look a little more solid. Now you can make it look like fur. Take a tissue, just wad it up, and then pounce this a little bit into a darker color of brown. And now you can just faux finish your tissue box all over so it looks a little bit more furry. And you're going to do that all over the top of the box and on the sides. Now, if you wanted to make alien feet or monster feet, then you could do this in different colors, and that would be fun too. So pounce this all over the box. All right. Then once this is all textured, then you're going to set this one aside to dry. Then you're ready to make some claws. So grab your paper out of your family craft box, and then you can use the end of your tissue box to measure it. So I'll just use this one. And remember, you want your claws to hang off the edge a little bit. So just lay this against here. I have my ruler underneath. I'm just going to adjust it so that it's about the right length hanging over. And I'm going to cut this to make my strip. All right, and this is a good job for kids too, for practicing those motor skills. So cut out your rectangle. If you need to trim it to the top of your box, you can even do that. Now, you don't need to make a pattern for making the claws. You can just take your scissors and start cutting some triangles out. And if you need to draw some triangles with a pencil before you start, of course, that's another good job. All right, so trim your claws, and you'll notice that I left a little bit of a strip at the top, and that's because this is the part that we're going to glue onto the box. So first, let's take a paint marker and draw some little highlights onto the claws, like that. Just make a little V, and then you want to take some thick craft glue or a glue stick, and you can glue this right onto the end of your box. Just like that, you've got some claws.